Good evening, Tara. As you can see, Creedmoor Road is open once again to traffic, but earlier this afternoon there was an accident, and all that's left is the tire tracks you see here behind me. The more recent DTHs are now even smaller than the originals, also to help save money. Cars at the Michelin Challenge will reach speeds up to 165 miles per hour, but for drivers like Sellers, entertaining the fans and of course the adrenaline rush is what makes it all worth it. Today, SunTrust thought it would be best to close its operations. But until whoever actually committed the robbery is caught, there may still be some shaky feelings even when they decide to open again. I'm Kimothy Jones Jr. here at William Peace University, where I speak with some athletes who aren't getting as much pub as the ones in March Madness. Customers have been standing in line for hours at this Raleigh DMV.
I lost my wallet, and with the new ID for North Carolina, I couldn't just order a duplicate online.
Lines at DMV offices across the triangle are going out of the door and around the corner, with some people bringing folding chairs and waiting in line all day to get their North Carolina real IDs or even a driver's license. According to North Carolina DMV Commissioner Tori Jessup, the reason for the long lines the past few days seems pretty simple.
On top of our normal seasonal high volume traffic, we're seeing individuals who are paying attention to what we're saying about the critical need to get their real ID in advance of the deadline.
But customers are not happy with the wait time. Some make it close to the front of the line right before closing, just to be told to come back the next day and do it all over again.
I didn't expect it to be yesterday 7 hours, and then today I don't know how long it's going to be. I've been here for about 3 hours now.
With wait times in lines like these going as high as 5 to 7 hours, some people have had to take drastic measures to get the service that they need.
It's been hot. I'm dehydrated. It's now 10:40 now, and I'm getting hungry. Can't go to work today just because it takes so long.
And if you want to schedule an appointment in advance, you may beat the line for now, but it may be till 2019 before they can book you.
They said that Raleigh and all surrounding areas, they're booked up until January. So there's no appointments, no things, all walk-ins.
In Raleigh, Kimothy Jones, Spectrum News. One person charged with a murder in Harnett County is expected in court today, and another is still at large. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words, but one student's school pictures almost left his mother speechless. The community is banding together to show its support. Highway Patrol says the crash happened yesterday afternoon on I-40 near White Oak Road. It's no secret that UNC has some incredible athletes. For their 4 years here, they are in the spotlight, traveling to games and balancing schoolwork. But what is life like after UNC? Reporter Jillian Kuhn caught up with one UNC golf alum who's trying to make it big. I spoke with two broadcasters this week at a radio station right here in Raleigh who had only good things to say about their old colleague.
It was a very sad morning here in the WPTF News Center as we got word that one of those killed in that shooting at the newspaper in Annapolis, Maryland yesterday was former WPTF reporter Rob Hyacin.
It's the end of the work week for WPTF newscasters Tony Rigsby and Mike Raley. But on this Friday, an old friend is heavy on their minds.
And our overnight producer told me, did you know this guy Hyacin who was killed in Maryland? And I went, Rob Hyacin?
A gunman opened fire at the Capital Gazette newsroom in Maryland, killing 5 people. One of those victims, 59-year-old Rob Hyacin, a former anchor and reporter for WPTF News in Raleigh back in 1984.
But the first thing you knew about Rob was he was a very imposing guy, well over 6 feet, striking blonde features, and a ready smile all the time. So he was one of those people you just liked immediately.
His former co-workers tell us he met his wife Maria here in Raleigh. They called it one of the greatest newsroom romances of all time.
He got here and met a young girl named Maria Mills, who was one of our anchors for our FM station WQDR at that time. And they hit it off. They went to a movie together, and they were virtually inseparable after that, and they were married less than a year later.
I do remember that Rob was a really good writer.
The two reporters never thought they'd hear Hyacin's name again on their newscast, not in the form of a tribute.
This business is tough in a lot of different ways. But having someone who has probably put his life on the line at some point as a reporter over the years to lose his life at the top of his game in a newsroom in an idyllic place like Annapolis, Maryland is hard to grasp.